What's up, my loves? My name is Mina. Welcome to my channel, Mina Reads, and today we are going to be doing a book haul. I have hauled over like 20 books in the past few months, which is a lot for me. I don't typically buy that many books, but yeah, a lot of new books have come into my collection, so I wanted to tell you guys about them. And yeah, I don't know, I've been going a little hard. I've been checking out a little bit too often. Thankfully, this video is actually being sponsored by Book of the Month. Book of the Month is a super popular and fast-growing online book service for readers. Their mission is to promote new and emerging authors and help readers discover books that they'll love. Each month, their team vets hundreds of books and gives readers their choice from a carefully curated selection of new and early release titles, so you can spend more time reading and less time researching. Book of the Month is also a risk-free service. You can skip any month at any time and you will not be charged. Plus, they have the best price for new release hardcover fiction. This month's picks include Liberty by Caitlin Greenridge, which follows a young free black girl in Reconstruction era New York City who is trying to find her path in life. Her mother wants her to be a medical student, but she's interested in pursuing music, and this is a story about her finding her way in the world. The Hunting Wives by May Cobb is a story about a young woman named Sophie who leaves the hustle and bustle of the big city and moves to the suburbs where things are just a little bit too quiet for her, until she ends up joining a group called the Hunting Wives, which is run by a socialite named Margot Banks, and maybe things are not all that they seem. So then we have Arsenic and Adobo by Mia P. Manansala, and this is about a woman whose ex-boyfriend ends up being poisoned in her restaurant, and everyone thinks it's her, but supposedly it isn't. I guess we'll see. Then we have People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This is about two best friends who are opposites in every way, but they get along so well, and every year they take a vacation together. However, their last vacation together ended in disaster, but they decide to take one last vacation together to see if they can reconcile. And I believe this is a relationship between the two of them, and I've heard nothing but good things about it, so I'm really excited for this one. Okay, and this last book, What Comes After by Joanne Tompkins, is about these two boys who are mysteriously murdered and this pregnant girl who kind of enters the lives of their families in the wake of their death, and what their murders have to do with this girl's sudden appearance. So this seems like it'll be a small town mystery, and hopefully it'll be really amazing. If any of those books stuck out to you, you can get your first box for $9.99 with the code SPRINGFUN and the link in my description. Thank you to Book of the Month for sponsoring this video. And yeah, I have all these books that I really need to tell you guys about, that I'm excited to get to at some point, and that I've been buying for reasons. I don't know. So let's just talk about them. Let's just get into them. Let me just pick up a book and tell you all about it. Okay, so the first book that I have here is Dead to Her by Sarah Pinborough, and this is the same author who wrote Behind Her Eyes, and I actually watched the TV show on Netflix, and I was like, this is interesting, and I was like, maybe I'll check out some of her newer stuff. So this is like her most recent release, and I feel like I heard Lala from Books and Lala talking about this at one point. I don't know if she read it or if she loved it or she hated it, I don't know, but I do remember her mentioning it at some point. So I was like, why not? I'll get it. So hopefully it'll be good. And yeah, it says Big Little Lies meets Rebecca, which is a very interesting combination in my opinion, and I hope it'll be good. The next one that I have is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell, and this book I know is a really dark story, and it's about this girl who was in a relationship with her teacher when she was younger, and it's about her finding out that her teacher actually abused a lot of other girls, and they are coming forward with their stories of abuse, and it's making her reflect on this relationship that she had with him, and if the relationship was actually abuse and not, you know, the healthy consensual relationship that she has kind of allowed herself to believe that it was. And so I've heard that this is a really amazing, hard-hitting but difficult book to read, and I definitely want to give it a shot. But I do know that it's going to be really heavy and difficult, so I've kind of been putting off reading it, but I have heard nothing but amazing things about it, so I do want to give this book a chance. Also, I feel like these two covers look very similar, maybe because it's just like a close-up of a face, but I feel like they kind of look the same. Okay, so the next book that I got this book, Realm of Ash. So this is the second book in the Books of Amaba duology by Tasha Suri, and this is like fantasy inspired by like the Mughal Empire. And I do have the first book. It's behind me somewhere. It's behind me right here. So I haven't actually read that first book yet, but I was on Thrift Books one day and they had the book for $3.99, so I was like, hell yeah, why not? So I picked it up, and hopefully it'll be good. I've heard that the romance in this one is really good. My friend Kay recommended this one to me because the romance was very good, so hopefully it'll be a banger. This next one that I have is called I'm Waiting for You and Other Stories by Kim Boo-young, and this book is a translated work actually. So this is by a Korean author, and this is translated fiction, and I've definitely been wanting to read more translated fiction and kind of to like expand my author base. Is that how you would say it? But like expand the authors that I'm reading from and the countries that I'm reading from, because I do think that, you know, it is limiting to only read from like American authors as an American person. So I want to like, you know, broaden my perspective and broaden my reading horizons by trying out some translated fiction. So this is a collection of speculative fiction short stories. If you have any translated fiction recommendations, please leave some in the comments. I would appreciate it. So the next book that I have is Morning Star by Pierce Brown, and this is the third book in the Red Rising trilogy. The first book is called Red Rising. I do have a video in which I read the first book in this series, Red Rising, and that video is episode 2 in my Mina Reads Your Fave series. So I was reading Erin from Book the Busy's faves, and she really loves Red Rising in this trilogy. So I tried it. I really enjoyed Red Rising, but even though there were some aspects of the story that I felt were a little bit like weird, I definitely wanted to continue with this series because I felt like it was really engaging and interesting. This next one, this one is called The Grey Bastards by Jonathan French, and so I was looking for some orc fantasy books to read, and I found this one. So this is about the Grey Bastards. It's this group of, I think they're like half orcs, and I don't know, I think they're kind of like a mercenary band or something like that. The cover of this book is so ugly, but it really doesn't matter. I watched World of Warcraft and I became very obsessed with Durotan and his wife, and so I'm just like, I need more orc content in my life. So hopefully this will fill that hole, that void in my life. Hopefully, maybe, possibly, I don't know, but I am excited to try it out. Okay, so then I have To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini, I think, and this book is super long. It's chunky. She's a thick girl. I think it's like 800 or something pages, and this comes highly recommended to me by Erin from Booked and Busy, as well as Monty from Monty Price, and they seem to really love this book. I don't necessarily know what it's about. I think it might be about like humans making first contact with alien life, and I am excited by that concept. I really enjoy sci-fi, space operas, aliens, all that kind of stuff, so I'm hoping that I'll really enjoy this. I don't know too much about like the plot of it beyond the whole first contact with alien things, but hopefully it'll be amazing. And also this cover is just like intensely beautiful, so I'm excited to try it out. So this is Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. I think that this is like a typical thriller about a girl that goes missing, or some girls that go missing, and I've heard that this story is like really intense and brutal, and I know that a lot of people really love this book, so I just decided that I was going to try and pick it up. I've been trying to get into thrillers somewhat unsuccessfully, but I'm hoping that this will be one that really, you know, sells me on the thriller genre, because everyone seems to really love Karen Slaughter and she seems to be really well respected in like the thriller space. So hopefully I will get to this soon, and this book will be featured in an upcoming Mina Reads Your Faves, so let me know if you have any guesses of what booktuber I might be reading from based on this pick. So the next book that I have is She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. This was sent to me by the publisher, so thank you so much to Tor for sending this to me. So this was sold to me as Mulan meets Song of Achilles, and it is a bold and queer lyrical reimagining of like the Ming Dynasty. So I really have been into like historical fantasy ever since reading the Poppy War trilogy by R.F. Kuang. So I was definitely really excited to hear about this when I found out that this was another historical fantasy, and I definitely want to give it a try. Like, yeah, I'm really happy to have this in my hands, and hopefully I'll be able to read it and get to it soon. Okay, so then I've got some black romances, which I'm excited about. So this one is called A Reunion of Rivals by Reese Ryan. This is like an office workplace romance about this girl who has to like partner up with her ex on some kind of like work project or something. I don't know too much more than that, but I'm just excited about it. And this is a historical romance. It's about a reporter and this female rancher in Wyoming, and I've heard really good things about this, and you know, Beverly Jenkins, like romance icon, just have to stand. So I'm hoping that I really love this book, and also the covers, like the colors are so pretty in it, so we love to see it. The next tiny book I have to show you is Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. So my friend Asia Monet on Twitter, she has been incessantly talking about Interview with a Vampire, like incessantly. And she got me. You know, she got me. I had to buy it. I had to see what it's all about. So I'm hoping to read it soon-ish. What is soon? Quantifying time. I mean, time is an illusion, so who knows what soon really means. But eventually, I do want to get to reading this because Asia really is obsessed with this, like, to an intense degree. So I'm just hoping that it is serving the vampire excellence that she has been selling it as on Twitter. So hopefully I'm gonna love it. So very unsurprisingly, I had to get myself a physical copy of Act Your Age, Eve Brown. I was lucky enough to get an ARC, so I read it back in January. But I really loved this book. It was so good. A really, really strong conclusion to the Brown Sisters trilogy. Eve and Jacob, they are just such an iconic couple. If you like opposites attract, you like the grumpy sunshine trope, like, you just need to read this. They are so cute, so sweet, so amazing. I love them, and they're so hilarious. Like, Jacob is truly hilarious to me, and I just love them so much. Like, even Jacob mean the world to me, and I just they just tugged at my heartstrings. They were so cute, so adorable. Next up, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. So I think that this is supposed to be like written as a letter from a son to his mother. I think that this is going to be a book really about like this complicated relationship between a mother and son, and like the love that exists there, but also the hurt and the pain that has come from their relationship. And I've heard nothing but amazing things about how beautiful and gorgeous and lyrical this book is, so I really want to give it a chance, and I'm excited about it. This one was actually sent to me by Sage from Sage Reads, so thank you so much, Sage. You're amazing. I love Sage. They are really awesome, so you should check out their channel. I'll leave it linked in the description. This is Sister Outsider by Audre Lorde, and this is a collection of essays about feminism, race, sexuality. I think this is a really important, like, foundational feminist text if you are trying to get into feminism and you want to read more like feminist theory and literature. I would definitely highly recommend this. I read this in college. I mean, I'm still kind of technically in college, but I read this like my freshman year of college, and it was really important to me, and I definitely want to be able to like reread it and reference it and come back to it. So I just definitely wanted a copy, and this was on my wish list, so thank you so much to Sage for sending it. And they're just so kind. I love them so much. And so yeah, everyone check out Sage. I will be leaving their link in the description below. Alright, y'all, so then I somehow, through the magic of Goodreads, I was able to win an ARC of One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I really liked Red, White, and Royal Blue. I know that recently, like, more and more people have been hating that book recently, which is like, you know, but I really liked Red, White, and Royal Blue, so I'm very excited to read One Last Stop, and I'm hoping that I'm going to love it and that it's going to be sapphic excellence. I know that this is about these two girls, August and June, I think. What if I'm wrong? August and Jane, not June. Imagine if they both were named after the months. That would be interesting. But anyway, that's not the case. This is about August and Jane. And Jane is in some kind of time warp, and she is stuck on this subway station. And basically her and August meet through this subway station. And I don't know, it's supposed to be sapphic. I heard some stuff about found family vibes in this. I love a queer found family, and I'm just excited to read this. Hopefully it'll be really amazing. And yeah, shout out to Goodreads for sending it. Alright, so then I had to get myself A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. Everybody has been talking about this recently on Twitter, and I'm just really excited to give it a shot because everyone seems to really love it. I've heard that this is a really beautifully written reimagining of like Dracula, and it's focused on the brides of Dracula and about like those relationships. So this is about a polyamorous queer relationship, and it's about their very like toxic dynamic with Dracula, and I'm really excited to read this. I think it'll be so interesting, and I just think that like the cover is beautiful. Everyone says that it's really beautiful. I think it's supposed to be like written in maybe an epistolary format, which is one of my favorite literary devices. So I am beyond excited to read this, and I'm hoping that I'm going to love it as much as everyone else on the timeline seems to love it. And so yeah. Alright, another book purchase inspired by the timeline is going to be The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I'm gonna be completely 100% straight up with you. I don't have a fucking clue what this book is about. I'm pretty sure that this is a dark academia, and I know that it's like diverse. I know that some of the characters are queer, there's some people of color in it, and I know that there's like some secret societies, some magic, and everything like that. So it sounds like something that I'm really interested in, and I'm hoping that I'm really gonna love it. Alright, so we've got Love in Color, mythical tales from around the world retold by Bolu Babalola. And so this is a series of, I think they're kind of retellings, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so this is a series of retellings, and it's supposed to retell the most beautiful love stories from history and mythology with incredible new detail and vivacity. So I'm very excited to try it out. The cover is really beautiful, and I actually follow this author on Twitter. Their Twitter presence is very amusing, and I like them a lot on Twitter, so hopefully I'll really enjoy their book as well. And yeah, that's all I know about it. I haven't heard many people talking about it yet, but hopefully it'll be really good. Okay, so then we have First Comes Like by Alicia Rai. This is the last book in the Modern Love trilogy. The first book in that series is called The Right Swipe. The second one is called Girl Gone Viral, and I personally really enjoy both of those books a lot. They basically talk about like the modern dating space and how technology and stuff like that is impacting love and relationships. So yeah, I'm excited to try this one out. This one has a hijabi heroine, and I'm pretty sure this is about her being catfished basically. So I'm interested in this because she is a hijabi like makeup and beauty influencer, and so I'm interested to see how the story is going to like evolve from there. But I'm really excited about this mostly because it is a hijabi romance, and I just want to see like how it's going to be handled and how the author is going to do it, and hopefully that representation will be done well. I also purchased myself the second and third book in the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin, and I absolutely adored the fifth season. It was so good. It was truly one of the best books I've read maybe ever in my whole entire life, so I just had to purchase the other two books in this series. So we have The Obelisk Gate and The Stone Sky. So the fifth season is a series of, it's a post-apocalyptic series where basically the world is constantly undergoing extreme natural disasters, and each of these natural disasters are called a season. So in this book, we are following the start of a new season as this woman, Esun, is looking for her daughter who has been stolen by her husband. And her husband has also just killed her son. So she's very, very concerned about her daughter's safety, and she's struggling to find her way back to her. I don't want to spoil it. I really think that this is a series that you need to experience for yourself. So I don't want to spoil anything. It's a really interesting series. I would highly recommend it. Okay, we're on to the final book. This final book, I have Twice Shy by Sarah Hogel, and this author, I absolutely loved their debut, which was You Deserve Each Other. That book was fucking phenomenal in so many different ways. I love that book so much. I'm excited to try this one out. This book is about this girl. So she inherits a house in the mountains from her grandmother, but apparently her grandmother has also bequeathed the house to her groundskeeper. So this granddaughter, her name is Maybelle. What a name. Her name is Maybelle. So Maybelle has to share the house and the land with this groundskeeper dude named Wesley, and I'm excited about it. It sounds like it'll be adorable. So that is all of the books that I have received or purchased in the past few months, and I'm excited to read them all. Some of them I have already started, others I have not, but I'm very excited about every single one of them. How many times can I say very excited? I say excited too much. I need some new adjectives. What the hell else can I say? I'm looking forward to reading these books. I don't know. Excited might be the only word that works, but I am looking forward to reading all of these books eventually. I will see you all in my next video. Bye, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And a special thank you to all of my wonderful patrons.